morning, everybody. I'm George Mihalchik. I'm the program coordinator for the Recognize Good Legends program, and we are pleased to be here at the Circle Acres Nature Preserve on this 4th day of October to recognize a gentleman who has dedicated many, many hours and countless times to making the preserve a place that people would like to come. That legend we honor today is Mr. Mike Rogan. We have a couple of guests that I'd like to introduce. First is Noelle Bradley. She is going to speak on Mike's behalf, say a few good words about him. Keep the words sweet because Mike has the closing rebuttal. And we also have Ms. Corey Schultz, who's going to be our presenter today. So let me talk about Recognize Good for just a moment. Our purpose is to illuminate the good that we find in the community. With so many negative things going on, we can't let that overshadow the good. And so our purpose is to highlight, to illuminate the good that we find. And we do that through a number of different ways. One is through the Legends program, where we recognize an individual or a team of individuals for the work that they do. We also have a Lighthouse Award, where we recognize civic organizations for the good work that they do. We also have the Ethics in Business and Community Awards, where we recognize a small business, a medium-sized business, a large business, a nonprofit, and an individual for demonstrating and executing the highest standards of ethics in their business. And we also have another program called Ethics in Youth Education, where we show high school students the importance of including ethics in resumes and in their everyday lives so that employers want to hire and keep them. And so, in a nutshell, that's what we do at Recognize Good. Now, what I'd like to do is turn our attention to the reason why we're here, to honor Mike, and I'll ask Noelle to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. My name is Noelle Bradley. I'm a member of the Board of Directors at Ecology Action. Before I was a member of the board, I was a client of the recycling center. So I took my recyclables from my condo that didn't recycle and went and sorted it into the dingy bins on 9th Street. That place on 9th Street always seemed like kind of a gritty place. Ecology Action, we know how to get our hands dirty. And here at Circle Acres, which is our new flagship project, we also get our hands dirty. It's a former landfill. It also is a site for urban habitat for 150 bird species. The count may be up from that. Mike can illuminate us on the new count. We have a wetlands. We have forest here. We have the landfill cap is a grasslands. We do educational work here on the site, and remediation and restoration, continued ongoing restoration to prevent erosion and to build pollinator gardens and habitat for birds. From what I hear about Mike, he knows how to get his hands dirty, or at least he doesn't mind. And one of the things that Mike has done besides hands-on volunteer work here on the site cleanup is he has documented a species here, observed birds, all sorts of birds, and done that over time, day after day. Have you reached the elusive 200?
No, that'll be quite a challenge, actually. We're at 158.
158 bird species here on our 10-acre site. Mike has given 1,500, I'm sure over 1,500 hours now, of volunteer hours to Ecology Action, and has made a wonderful synchronous activity with the Travis County Audubon. Is it Travis County Audubon?
Just Travis Audubon Society.
Travis Audubon Society that he's part of. I don't know Mike well, so I won't speculate on what motivates him to do such sustained work for our organization, but I will just guess that it's his passion for the birds and the species here and the ecology here. You know, for a lot of us, the ecology doesn't become real until we find a purpose. Why do we care? And Mike has found that purpose, and he has given us a huge gift with his time that he spent here improving our land. I want to thank Recognize the Good. You know, it's hard sometimes to see good in our community because it's not very salacious, it's not very dramatic. It is something like sustained observation of a bird species over time, something like scientific observation. So it doesn't have a hard market value, and we just appreciate you all in your work. I want to thank our executive director, Corey Skolt, who is helping to bring life to our site, and all the good people on the board and our volunteers who help Ecology Action be what it is today.
Thank you, Noelle. Excellent work. And I know we can quantify the number of people Mike you've worked with, the number of hours that you put into it. But I would guess that the impact that you have on the young people's lives who come here on tours, to work, to observe, will be lasting lifetimes and lifetimes. And so what we'd like to do is to recognize the good things that you've done. And I'll ask Corey to come up and say a few words, and we'll make the presentation.
So a nonprofit like Ecology Action, and I think this is true of probably most small nonprofits, our staff is a very small part of what makes this thing go, what makes this place a beautiful place that's well taken care of, what makes a field trip happen so that kids can come down here. It is really just, we are like one little piece that tries to bring all the real power behind the organization together. And we're often, you know, we're trying to learn so many different pieces of a job that we really rely on the people, the volunteer power that makes things work to not just power the organization, but also to educate us. And that was the case for me on one of my first weeks here on the job. Mike was kind enough to meet me out here and walk the trails, show me the trails that he built with other volunteers and staff, and then also to make sure I knew exactly what we had here and what the plant species were here and what birds were here so that I could do a better job of trying to protect them. I'm a firm believer that you can't expect people to take care of a natural area that they don't have a connection with. So a big part of my goal here is bring kids in the neighborhood onto the site, bring volunteer groups from other parts of Austin to see what a gem this is, so there's not just an abstract concept. And none of that would be possible if Mike hadn't worked so hard to build these trails. It's one of those things that is just sort of feels like monotonous, probably thankless work sometimes to keep these paths going, but it is such an important concrete piece of what makes this whole place accessible, why kids can come and learn about these different ecological issues, why they can connect to the reason for landfill diversion and the reason for protecting natural areas is because they can come and walk these trails and really like touch and feel and hear everything. So I've been really inspired by Mike to learn more and more detail about what exactly we've got here, what's special about this place, and to keep doing everything I can to protect it and connect people with it. And I want to thank Mike for being a huge part of establishing this area and opening it up to people around the neighborhood and beyond, and helping me connect to it and learn how to take care of it. Thank you, and thank you, Recognize Good, for giving us this opportunity to come together here.
Okay. So we have a couple of presentations. Mike, you would come forward. And Corey, you stand right in between us.
All right.
And Mike, after she hands these to you, feel free to put them back on.
Oh.
Okay. The first is a soup mug with the symbols of RecognizeGood here, RecognizeGood mug, and a $100 party card.
Thank you. It's incredibly generous.
Next is our book of good deeds. And in that book of good deeds, we have Mike's picture, the nomination, other pictures, and you'll be able to put pictures from the ceremony. And I was thinking this was vitally important, but I don't forget to bring the bromeliad today. This, Mike, is a living remembrance of today's ceremony for you.
Appreciate it.
And what are you going to do with that?
I'm sure it'll sit with a couple of other bromeliads I have.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
And this is the presentation check. You guys can hold that together and put the pictures. Mike, you can display that in a place that you choose. Someplace prominent where people can see it.
Thank you very much. Very good.
And the last one is, let me give that to you. It's a check for $1,000 made out to Ecology Action, and you can present that to Corey.
Oh, Corey, would you like it?
Why, thank you so much, Mike. And I didn't get a chance to mention that this donation will make a big impact in our continued work to try to clean up the site, which is an ongoing effort at all times to make sure that we're taking care of any illegal dumping that's happening on the site, getting signage up to inform people of what a special place this is, and all the reasons not to leave their trash here. So we're going to continue to get this place cleaned and safe and friendly place to visit. It's going to make a big difference.
Very good. Okay, Mike, now as your first official duty, I'm going to hand that to you. It is a soup mug with two $25 gift cards, and your first official duty is to present that to Corey for her nomination.
Corey, how about it? Would you like
Well,
it?
thank you.
The second is to present a mug to Noel.
Perfect words.
When it comes to mugging, I'm always pretty good.
All right, Mike, the floor is yours.
Well, I certainly hadn't made a preparation for speaking or anything, and even if I had, it probably wouldn't be very effective. But let me just say that really appreciate Recognize Good's discernment about areas that should be illuminated for the efforts taking place within them, and I can't think of a type of effort that's more important than what Ecology Action is doing here right now, trying to rehabilitate and preserve ecological habitat within urban areas with our ever more disrupted climate and our apparently relentless spreading onto what little undeveloped land continues to exist. We need more than ever to try to do something to temper the impact we're having on this planet. And I think that's what Ecology Action is trying to do here. My contribution to that has been pretty small, but I'm happy that it's been recognized and feel humbled that you recognize it to this degree. So thank you very much, and we appreciate the good that RecognizeGood is doing.